Welcome to Book Time with Ryan. I am Ryan, and today I'll be talking about Trunk Music by Michael Connelly. This is a Harry Bosch novel, my fifth Harry Bosch novel, and he's done it again. Not Harry Bosch, although I guess he has to. Michael Connelly has done it again. He's written a book, or I guess did it again. This is from 1997. He wrote a book that I could not put down. And I hate the description not put downable, or non-put downable. I hate that. And I've seen it, and it's like, don't say that. But I could not put this down. It was so good. It was so good. I've talked about Harry Bosch before. I think, at this point, every Michael Connelly book I've read is a Harry Bosch novel. This is the fifth one, and the final one that I could read without having to branch off into other books that he's done that happen in the same universe. So at some point I'm gonna have to start reading other books, but I really like this, and it did the same thing that all of his books seem to do. They have me guessing until the end, and because of that I just have to keep reading and reading and reading and reading, and it flies by. This book has 502 pages. I do need to say, because I looked, I had this revelation. It probably gonna come a little bit sooner, but I thought something happened, and it turned out that it did happen, and I figured it out on page 435. Nothing significant happened on page 435. I just remember thinking, like, I bet this is true, and this is the point in my reading where I thought about that, and then it was true. I'm not going to tell you what it was, because it would kind of ruin stuff. But let me tell you what happens in this book. We are again with Harry Bosch, and we are within, I think, a year or two, a year, of the last book, The Last Coyote. And he is just coming back from the desk. He was working, he was on leave to recover, mentally recover or something. I don't know if it was what it was. I think it's to deal with PTSD. But it stems from some of the stuff that happened in the last book, The Last Coyote. And he had been working a desk, and he finally was brought back to Hollywood Division to join his old colleague, Edgar, Jerry, and a new one. So we have Edgar, and we also have it's a team of three, and the head is a third detective third class or something, and that is Bosch. He's got Edgar, he goes Jerry, and he's also got a female named Kiz. That's short. And he has a new boss, and they call her Bullets. It's Bullet, I think. Bullet. But she's a 180 from his old boss. She's great. I've come to really like her. I like his new partner-ish. I don't know if it's three of them. Is it considered a partnership? I guess it's like a three-way partnership. Kiz is cool. Every Harry Bosch book I've read starts right in the middle of it, and this does too. There's a concert going on. The music that I'm going to start and finish this video with is the music that was being played at this concert, but they're up in the hills somewhere near Hollywood. I could not picture where it was. And they're close to this concert, and it's some kind of outdoor classical jazz group, classical group, I don't know. But there's this white Rolls Royce Ghost that's been found, and there's a smell, and a body was found in the trunk. The thumbnail that I used is actually a ghost trunk, a Rolls Royce ghost trunk. The body is suspicious. It looks like this person's been executed because of the entry wounds in the back of the head. Person looked like they were tied up. It's a man. And he's missing his shoes. Not sure if we ever found out what happened to his shoes. Things are solved, just so you know. Things are going to be solved here. And there's a uniform officer that found it during his routine kind of patrol of the area. This is an area that's off of some kind of firefighting staging area. And it's an area that people kind of gather and party in, but they shouldn't because it's supposed to be locked and closed off to trespassers. The murder looks like it's mob related. And Harry Bosch, this is really, I think, his first case back. He's really getting in the groove with this. He's getting a little bit of a high out of it. And because it's a mob hit, or it looks like a mob hit, he's told that he needs to reach out to the organized crime division, OCID. I forgot what the I stand. Investigation? Organized Crime Investigations Division? I don't know. He reaches out to them and they pass on it, which seems weird. There's a lot of movement between LA, and if you've read any Harry Bosch books, you know that there's a lot of description of the streets, interstates. They did that weird thing in California where they call it the 105, the whatever. I don't know the actual numbers. The 105, the numbers of interstates there, streets. There's a lot of movement between LA, Hollywood, and Las Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. I really could pass on going to Vegas. It seems dirty, and it seems from this book, at least in 97, that it was also pretty dirty. It has a relatively bad reputation. I don't feel a need to go there, and after reading this book, I didn't feel any more need to go there either. Harry is trying to track down who did this, and it involves a number of other organized crime units, other departments, LAPD, obviously, but also Las Vegas police or sheriffs. It's going to involve the FBI. And through the process, we start learning about, well, it's really kind of hard to describe what happens without giving a lot of stuff away. Let's just say there's a lot of back and forth, and through that process, we understand that things are much more complex. There's a lot more going on here with individuals than we are initially led to believe. And there's some, I won't say cover-up. There is a bit of a cover-up. Actually, there's cover-up. Another character that comes back is Eleanor Wish. Eleanor Wish was an FBI agent in an earlier book. I should have looked at which one it was. I feel like it was probably Black Echo, or it may have been Black Ice. Is that the name of them? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and try to figure it out, and then I will put a link to the video that talks about whatever book Eleanor Wish was in. Ready? It's going to go ready and... Okay, so whatever book that was, I'll do that in post-production. She was a love interest of Harry Bosch's. And she worked for the FBI, and it came down to, oh no, I think it was the Black Echo. That's what I'm going to go with. If that's the thing that you saw pop up a few seconds ago, then I was right. If it's not that, then I was wrong and I feel bad. But not yet, because I don't know until after I edit this video. Eleanor Wish was an FBI agent. She was involved with bank robbery. She has some things happened, and she goes to jail. I think she's in jail for 5 years. She's in federal prison for 5 years. Obviously, she's no longer an FBI agent. The reason that she even went was Bosch. Directly, indirectly, I think she turned herself in. I feel like that's what happened. But he still thinks of her, and he's thought of her. She's kind of come up as memories in other books, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, although he always has love interest. But this is one that he's thought about. Well, he runs into her, in Las Vegas. And she's just trying to make it back. And their relationship starts up again, which is nice. And there's going to be a little bit more to that than just a random run-in. Bosch gets in trouble. Bosch is kind of suspended for something. The FBI is involved. Las Vegas is involved. And Bosch works his way through the case and figures out who the murderer is of this movie executive that was found in the trunk of this Rolls Royce. And that's it. Like, that's all I can say without giving up too much. I feel like this is a lot of his books are it's hard to kind of go over what happens in them without going over the big breaks in the investigation. And I don't want to do that to you. But it's really great. It's great. I remember I came to Michael Connelly because my dad told me about him. Apparently they lived down the street from his brother in Nashville. At some point, they didn't know him, I don't think. That was like the little bit of trivia. Every time Michael Connelly was recommended to me from my dad, and eventually I read it, and it really is. His books are just so good. I think I need to watch the show, the Bosch show. I think it's time. I won't do like a comparison of the books in the show because I don't know what they kind of cover as far as the books go. But I really have enjoyed his books, and I'm interested to see what happens next for me, how I'm going to proceed with the next Michael Connelly book, which I don't own anymore at this point, so I need to find out which one relates to this series and is in chronological order and keep going that way, but I just don't know what it is yet. So, but 5 stars as usual. Michael Connelly, Trunk Music. Trunk music, I guess I should say with trunk music. Trunk music is this organized crime term for when they get rid of a body. They put them in a trunk and they don't have to worry about this person anymore. They've put out a hit. The person dies. He's in trunk. And that's it. Thanks for being here today. Check out the 5th Bosch book, Trunk Music by Michael Connelly. 5 stars. Really great. And I will talk to you later. Have a good one.